You know what I'm noticing? I'm noticing a lot of things. I'm noticing some similarities between you and your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And like the way he advocated for you and the way you advocate for your child. Do you feel like you're a lot like him?
Every day.
Wow.
Every day. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You get a tissue?
Yeah. I miss him a lot. Yeah.
Bronx made, Bronx made, Bronx made, Bronx made, Bronx made.
Girl, I was just talking about you. Come on in. Oh my God! Clap it up for Brianca. And it's a little snug entrance,
I know.
but we made it. We made
What's
it.
up?
I'm so excited to have you here.
Likewise. Thank you.
So I tried my best with the introduction. You are a Bari star, an actress, and just overall
New director.
a director.
Mm-hmm. Full-time mom.
Yes, full-time mom. The mom is the most important part.
Yes.
Emphasis on mom.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to have you.
Thank
Before we get into the conversation, I want to talk about how I was introduced to you. And it was through LR, as I mentioned. Yeah, so you met LR, our producer, our co-producer on the film set of Bubbling Over, his film. How was that?
Well, I originally saw the title on Backstage, and at first I was kind of like, that title caught my eye, and I'm like, I've bubbled over before. This is intriguing. Let me see what's up. So I'm reading the story, and I'm like, oh my God, if this is not like similar or exactly what I've been through, let me check out these characters. So I applied for Elizabeth and I applied for Nisi because I'm a sister. So yeah, but honestly, when I did it, my fiance helped me with it, and she was just like, yo, just stop reading the descriptions and just be you.
Wow.
And luckily Louric saw that, and I got picked to be Elizabeth.
That's so sweet. So your role is Elizabeth.
Yeah.
What does Elizabeth do in this film?
So Elizabeth goes through the trials and tribulations of having a kid that's on the spectrum, autism, but also the trauma and abuse of being with somebody that you felt like you were supposed to be with the rest of your life.
Wow.
And the father of your child.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you said when you heard the title and you read the title, you were like, I've bubbled over. What did bubbling over mean to you?
Well, for me, in my personal life, when you have a kid, it changes everything. Not just you, but the people around you. And in my experience, it did change the relationship between the partner that I had at the time. And when it was time for me to go, I never looked back. And I just put my son and myself first. And putting myself first, once I gave birth, was putting him first. So,
yeah. So you had a personal connection to the film because your son is autistic?
Yeah, I found out when he was 3.
Okay.
And the only kid I could compare him to was my niece. Because at 3 years old, I was able to have an intellectual conversation with her. And I'm like, what's going on? You know? So, but he was a fast learner. Like, he, I want to say, like, a week after he was born, like, he was trying to, like, stand up. And I'm like,
wow.
What you in a rush for? You know what I'm saying? Like, you my first child. Like, let me enjoy you as a baby.
Right.
So, and as he was trying to learn how to teach himself how to walk, because everybody around him was walking, whenever he would fall, I would hear him say, I can't.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? Clear as day. And I'm like, what? What you mean you can't? You can. Keep going.
Not Louric opening the freaking Sprite bottle in the back. We're like having a deep moment right here, and then there's just the soda bottle opening in the back. Sorry to break the moment. But yeah, back to
it does make my throat kind of dry too. Like, damn, like what? Young black man, you can, you know?
Yes,
so
you can.
Then eventually, I want to say he was like almost a year. He learned how to walk, but he kind of stopped talking. So he would just make noises.
Okay.
And in comparison, when I was a kid, my parents or people that was close to my parents told me, like, yeah, like, you didn't make noises neither. You would say stuff like, whoa, and everybody just knew. Your mother, your father, and your sister just knew, oh, she want water. I'm like, okay, all right, you know. And me and my son, we did have that special bond to where I knew what he wanted, regardless of if he could say it verbally.
Yeah.
So then when he got older and school was starting around, and I'm like, you going to school. So I got him into early Head Start, and he had like a evaluation.
Yeah.
And they was the ones that diagnosed him as autistic.
Okay.
But also like a speech delay.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I can say, the speech teacher, his first speech teacher, within the first session, wow. Like, I was there, of course, but it was like I wasn't. Yeah. He was so intrigued with not just the new person, but he can also learn from everybody that's willing to want to help him.
Yeah.
So I just was like, all right, can't be a helicopter mom. I gotta let him be him. You know what I'm saying? So
that's awesome that you came to that realization. And also that what was going on with him was detected early, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
How did your community respond to finding out that your son was autistic?
I mean, still to this day, like, I don't think they realize that you can't get rid of it. It's a part of him. Okay. It's who makes him him. He loves trains. He loves music. He loves his mom. Yeah. He loves his stepmom. You know, he loves the people that are consistent with him and understand him. And I feel like, you know, they don't want to understand him. Mm. They just know what they know from back in the day. Like, do what I say because I said so. Yeah. He's not like any other kid. He's not me. He's not his father. He's him. Yeah. And especially with these ABA services, like, they're trying to, like, get rid of it. No, work with it. Yeah. To get to the answers that he needs to answer.
What are the ABA services for the people that are just learning about this? So
ABA is where I can't really my fiance is better with this stuff. Yeah. But like ABA is basically like a program to where like anybody that's on the spectrum, they do certain techniques with them that make the child that's on the spectrum do what they want to do. So kind of manipulate them in a way. So like my son has a sensory toy. Yeah. If you don't finish this, we're going to take this away. No. Work with that sensory toy. Yeah. He'll get it done because he has his safety blanket with him. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll do it. Because my son is willing to learn. He wants to learn. He was nothing like me growing up. I hated school. He loves school. He loves to learn. So with those services, like they try to teach the kid that in order for you to get what I want you to get done, you have to, in my opinion, you have to mold yourself into something that you're not. And basically mask throughout the day to get through the day. Yeah. So me and my partner, like we just definitely make sure we're on top of them when it comes to like whatever he brings to school. Don't take it from him because he's not going to comply in the way that you're used to for these other kids. Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like a lot of your role as a mom to an autistic child is like advocacy, like advocating, fighting for your child. Is that something you were able to bring into the role with in your role in Bubbling Over?
It wasn't it's just it was kind of sad because I'm like, damn, like people are still going through this, you feel me? So even though Emerson's situation is different from my son's, it definitely helped each scene, and it made sense to me on why she was going so hard. And she wasn't that type of mom that I respect that just gives birth and it's like, all right, well, yeah. No, she wanted to figure it out, not just for him, but for herself, so she could be a better mom for M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome that you were able to bring your personal experiences into the role. And I know there's a lot of people listening that are like, I don't really know about autism. I don't know anybody that has autism. Why should they care? Are there other things that people can pull from this film, from your opinion?
Yeah. I feel like advocacy is very important. And when a child doesn't have that ability to do that, it is important that you are that example. And it's okay to be different. It's okay because at the end of the day, like, you can't help it. Like, your brain is totally different. And we all live in a world to where, like, we're supposed to be a certain type of way, but this is my norm. Like, this is my norm. So, and my parents grew up with segregation and discrimination. So, like, they know what it feels like to be treated a certain way because it's something you can't change. But this is something that we can change. All you have to do is care. Yeah. Care for that person that does not think the way you think. And at the end of the day, like, we're all important to society.
I think that's beautiful. Yeah, well said. And overall, this focuses on, I feel like, a mother and, like, her fierce advocacy for her child, which is something a lot of people can relate to. And switching over and focusing on more of the child and what they may be going through, something I think is interesting to talk about is the topic of childhood trauma. That's something I wanted to get into. Do you feel like Emerson, which was your son in the film, do you feel that Emerson's experiences could be viewed as traumatic?
I mean, yeah, in a sense of, like, not understanding why he thinks, or he's not like everybody around him. Yeah. And Emerson, I feel like he definitely in some ways, and in my personal, for my son as well, like, they don't feel sorry for themselves. Yeah. They don't. Like, that this is normal to them. This is their lives. So it's like
they're just confused,
but also, like, they need structure. Yeah. And Elizabeth's character, she was praying and hoping for that structure. In my experience, when it came to not the government, but certain programs that said, oh, my son needs this, my sons need that, but you're only giving him one thing. Yeah. So what is this? It's not. It can't just be all about the money. Like, I have goals for my kid. Elizabeth had goals for her kid. You know what I'm saying? And across the board, when you're a parent that wants to see your kid soar, you're going to do what you got to do. You're going to cry. You're going to yell. You're going to scream. And unfortunately, sometimes, the kid may have to see that. But then where it comes to being a parent, where you have to, like, if you can, explain to them. And I know I try to all the time. Like, try to explain to them what happened, why it happened. Because they deserve that too, and it's not your fault. Yeah.
I love that. You were so eloquent. No wonder you're an amazing actress.
And that's real though.
Yeah. Moving on from the film a little bit, I want to get into you. I want to get into the root of who you are, because something that you said a lot before we started is, you cannot put me in a box.
Oh, yes.
And
no boxes.
That's something that you repeated multiple times in our conversation before we started filming. So I want to talk about it. I want to talk about how you came into identifying with yourself growing up, and you came into your own identity of who you are. And then I also want to know about some of the childhood trauma that you may have navigated, and then how you're living with that and processing that as an adult today.
So I could go through the trauma first. So for me, growing up, no, but I mean, like, I feel like, not trying to say this is everybody's story, but I'm a tomboy. I'm a tomboy. I've been a tomboy for a really long time. Yeah. Have I dressed girly? Yeah, but I'm a very safe dresser. So,
what does that mean, a safe dresser?
So, okay. So if I'm showing chest and stomach, I'm not showing legs or my arms. Okay. And if I'm showing arms and chest, I'm not showing stomach or legs.
Like modest, a little.
Very modest. Okay. Very, like, you gotta leave something to the imagination. You feel me?
Did you grow up in the church or something?
No. I mean, I've been to church, but you know, like, no, but that's just how I feel. Yeah. That's always how I felt, even when I dressed, I guess, girly-ish. But always been a tomboy. If you had to put me in the LGBT, I would say fluid. Yeah. Yeah, very fluid. I like that. I guess because, like, I've dated men, I've dated women. They all annoying. So, like, yeah, So growing up, my dad was very supportive, and everything I've decided to do for myself, because, like I said, he grew up with segregation and discrimination and people telling him how to look, give it an afro, whatever, all negative stuff. So when it came to me and my personality, like, he saw me, him, his sister, and her husband, like, they saw me. And for other people, like my mom, like, they saw me as, you're a female, like, this is how you should dress, you know. And it was one specific, all that, like, going back and forth, it wasn't that was traumatic. It was, I had told Louric this, and there was one time I went to an event. I was 10 years old. My sister just did my hair, and my older sister, and I went to go, they told me to go change. Mm-hmm. I had on what I had on for the day. You know what I'm saying? So I told my dad about it. He was livid. He was like, "No, leave her alone. You already did her hair. She gonna dress the way she dressed. This is her."
How were you dressed? Can you draw the picture?
My hair was the ponytails. Mm-hmm. It was matted on with the flowery things at the bottom. I didn't care about that. Okay. All I cared about was what I had on, which was my overalls and my Nikes. That's all I cared about, you know, because that was me. Like, that's what I felt like wearing that day at 10 years old. Right. So my dad and my sister went at it, and it got to the point where it got physical. Mm. And I, like, jumped into people pleasing. And I'm like, hey, like, what the fuck? Like, all right.
So you had to watch your sister
and my dad fight,
get physically heated
over me,
over what you were wearing and how you chose to present that day.
Yeah.
And what was the issue with was your sister upset that
I wouldn't change?
And it was because your outfit was more, masculine presenting, less girly?
Now I didn't know that at the time, but mm-hmm. I feel like it just wasn't what they wanted me to wear or put on. Like, you know, they wanted me to wear, like, pink and stuff. Actually, pink is one of my favorite colors. But not when you want me to wear it. When I want to wear it. Like, how am I supposed to become an individual? But they wasn't thinking like that back then. They felt like, oh, I was a kid. I do what kids do. Listen to their elders.
So in this case, your dad was advocating for you, and your sister was kind of representing the people that were against mm-hmm. you having freedom of expression. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
Nah, that kind of, it switched. Like, I was like, nah, I never want to see that again.
In that moment, though, when everything gets crazy, things get physically violent, what's the direct aftermath of that?
I mean, I try to smooth everything over, but
I
tried. Like, I cried. Like, I'm crying now. Like, can y'all stop? Like, you know, because I ain't want to, like, come on, that's my sister. Like, you bugging the fuck out. And then that's my dad. Like, you're, like,
your sister's much older than you?
Yeah, she's 10 years older. But I never got, like, I never experienced getting whippings, beat, like, none of that. So we got lectured. So that's why I guess I was in so much shock that he actually put his hands on her, like, but in my mind, at 10 years old, I'm like, you love me so much that you're physically tired of them saying I have to change. And you love me so much that you just want me to look the way I'm supposed to look in your eyes. Yeah. You know? So it was a conundrum, really, at 10. And I'm just like, ugh. But I wound up going out that night with the same thing I had on. Yeah. But from that point, I was okay with wearing what they wanted me to wear. Because I was like, I never want to see that shit again.
Damn. That's so heavy. And this happened to you at 10?
Yeah.
So what I'm getting from what you said is that moment, having to appease adults because of, you know, your self-expression, that made you feel like you had to people please and like, I guess, make other people feel comfortable with who you are. How did that affect you throughout like adolescence when you became a teenager?
It kind of felt like I wasn't enough. Like me just being in the room, me being invited wasn't enough. Like I had to look the way my mom or whoever felt like I had to look, like straight hair, no braids. Because I remember one time somebody called me Snoop Dogg at school and she was like, that ugly motherfucker. I'm like, but that ugly motherfucker got the money. But
so your mom was into you dressing more feminine too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely into what makes me happy. Yeah. Like, so I did a little bit of both. Like, yeah.
A lot of times when people go through a traumatic situation like that, like the one you experienced as a child, people develop, I guess, tools that are sometimes the wrong tools, and you start to cope.
Yep.
You do different things to cope or to deal with that trauma or that burden that you feel. Is that something that you experienced in high school once you got a little bit older? Well, how did you deal with that trauma that came from that experience? Or did it play out in your relationships with other people and your friendships?
Well, I feel like the people that I met over the years, especially like I had really good friends in middle school and in high school, like everybody accepted. Like even though I wore like a uniform all 4 years of high school, I didn't really have to worry about dressing them. Only my kicks. I always wore sneakers. But like I was literally a tomboy in middle school, and a lot of my friends, one of my female friends, she was a tomboy too, so we identified with each other and stuff like that. My first friends were boys, so I feel like once I got to high school, and I was interested in boys, I kind of did both, which they liked. You know, especially when I met my baby father, I definitely was like both, and he loved it. Like,
he liked when you would dress more tomboy, and he liked when you would dress more feminine. What do you think it was about that aspect of you that attracted him?
What do you think
he liked about that?
Well, at the time when I was dating men, my preference was always different depending on what I guess was doing at the time. So I played sports growing up. So my man or the boy toy had to be athletic. When I got to high school, he had to be non-American, so for my baby father, he looked Dominican to me, even though Dominican and Black, we here. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So but then when I met him in person, he definitely was like, no, I'm like, and what attracted me to him was his personality, that I thought was his personality, not him pretending to be something that he wasn't. So you know how that go.
Yeah. So you also like people that you can't put them in a box necessarily.
Right. Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about your childhood trauma. We talked a little bit about your experience throughout high school and stuff like that. I want to go back to the people pleasing.
Yeah.
Was there moments in your life that
I people please? Yeah.
Come out?
Yeah, especially with my mom, because I kind of, I don't know, I kind of have like a soft side for my mom, because she didn't well, you don't know, but she didn't really kind of have a childhood. She was the oldest, so she kind of had to be a mom very early. I don't know what that feels like. Yeah. I had my kid at 20 something. I was dumb. Nobody cared that I was pregnant. They were shocked that I was pregnant, but nobody cared. Yeah. So when she was a mom, she became a mom at a very young age. So yeah, sometimes I do people please her, Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do. I don't want to, but I do. Yeah. I don't want to, but I do.
Has there been a moment where the people pleasing has kind of slapped you on the face and you had to be like, okay, I might have to start choosing myself?
Boundaries. Yeah. Still to this day.
Describe that, like a specific moment where you were like, okay, I think this is a good place to put in boundaries.
When it comes to my son, and his mind and what he needs in that moment, and I'm trying to explain to her when it comes to his sensory toys. He has a lot of sensory toys.
You try to explain to your mom?
Yes. Okay. And regardless of where he is at the house, that's where he feels comfortable. I never want him to mask who he is. He may have to sometimes, and that hurts me to the core. But it's survival. He don't even know he's surviving. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want him to mask with you. Yeah. So I kind of had to explain to her, like, once again, the advocate, his mind, he wants to play with these toys right here, right now, in this moment. He's not bothering anybody. He is to himself. He has to regulate himself by himself. That's great that he knows how to do that by himself. Yeah. Without anybody telling him to do that. He goes into, I know what I have to do. Did I know that in the beginning? No. Yeah. That took time. Yeah. So I feel like I always have to, like, let her know, like, this is not him trying to be a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not trying to get on your nerves. He's trying to calm his nerves. And I just need you to respect that. Yeah. He's not bothering you. But if it's bothering you, seeing him right there in that moment, you have a choice. You can walk away. Yeah. You're the adult. We should start thinking about what these kids need instead of our needs. Because once we have kids, it's no longer about us.
You know what I'm noticing? I'm noticing a lot of things. I'm noticing some similarities between you and your dad. And like the way he advocated for you and the way you advocate for your child. Do you feel like you're a lot like him?
Every day.
Wow.
Every day. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You get a tissue?
Yeah. I miss him a lot. Yeah. Thank you. I tell my fiance this every day. Like, I feel like him. It's not like just his presence, but I feel like him.
That's good. That's when you know someone left an impact on you. Like, you carry him on you.
Yeah, I
do. Just met you today, and I'm just like, I feel the impact of those lessons and the way he lives his life.
Educationally, my mom has helped me. Especially when it comes to advocating for him and standing up for him and stuff like that. I had an IEP growing up, so I've been through that experience before. Yeah. But like I said, I hated school. So he's nothing like me, and I'm so proud of him every day, even when he gets on my fucking nerves. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so proud of him. Yeah.
The second thing I was gonna say is that you have a lot of patience, and that
takes time.
That's something that I wanted to note, because a lot of times, I don't want to make assumptions, but a lot of times in our communities of color, like Latino people, Black people, sometimes there's not a lot of patience when it comes to parenting. At least I've definitely experienced that. So now you raising an autistic child is like the patience has to go into overdrive.
Yep.
You know, and did you already have that? How were you able to like find that within yourself?
I had patience for certain people in my life.
Okay.
Not everybody. So I realized growing up that like I told Louric, like, you don't know what people are going through.
Right.
So I try to listen, not just with my ears, but with my eyes and with my heart. Yeah. And I try to like throw that to my son all the time because he's very self-centered. Yeah. And I just do my best to be a better person every day. Like, I learn from my mistakes. I hold myself accountable thanks to my partner. Because I am a Pisces. We do have toxic traits. We do have those toxic traits now.
What are the toxic traits? Stop it.
I mean, like...
Don't be too loud. Keep that. Keep that to yourself. Anyway.
So, yeah, no, patience is a virtue. And it comes with time. And what helped is pretty much every partner that I had. Like, every female partner I had. Like, I can't take credit for A through Z when it came to my son. That's my first girlfriend. Like, she definitely was on him. Wow. You know, especially when he had that first speech teacher, we piggybacked off of what she was teaching him. And she killed it. Wow. Like, she killed it.
Emphasis on female partners.
Yeah. I mean,
you were like, all my female partners.
I mean, no, he does. So I do have a relationship with his grandfather on his father's side, and he's amazing. Like, I'm not there all the time, but the fact that he asked for him, and it's important to have people around your kid that they trust. They're called safety people, parents, kids. Yeah. Make sure. So he's one of those safety people.
I love that.
Grandparent that I trust.
And I'm assuming dad is not in the picture. Okay.
No.
So we don't need to get into that.
We not.
But when it comes to, I love how you emphasize your female partner because it seems like they have had a big impact when it comes to.
I got a whole bunch of females in my family.
Yeah.
You know, so. But my partners, once I started dating women at 28, I was very late to the party.
Okay.
But that was an experience.
How has that improved your life? Dating women.
Oh gosh. Women. I became I have more empathy. Yes, I feel like I have way more empathy than I ever had in my life. Because I definitely, 10 years ago, long hair, don't care. But now, the experiences that I've had to experience because I wanted to, and God made sure it hit when it was supposed to. Empathy, sympathy, more patience. Because, I may come with trauma, but so do they. Yeah. So we not going to dance around it. We going to go through those motions. We going to feel that. Yeah. We going to feel it. And I'm going to feel it with you. Even though I ain't go through the same exact thing, but I know hurt. I know pain. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know what it feels like to come out of that too. Yeah. But you got to go through it. And every female, regardless if it was a waste of time or not, it was still time spent well. And it made me realize what I'll tolerate and what I won't tolerate. Who should be in my life and who shouldn't be in my life. Not just for me, but for my son. Yeah. And it's really important to have certain people around your kid, because I don't want him to ever settle just because it's convenient.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many layers to you that we can keep on and on and on. Yeah. It's like some people might expect you to go with a certain label, per se, even with your sexuality, but you're like, I'm fluid. And why is that? Do you want to, I guess, explain that reasoning, or it doesn't need to be explained? How do you feel about the way you choose to identify?
Because I feel like when people look at me or somebody that looks like me, they just assume, oh, they ain't never dated female. They ain't never dated a male before. Like, only females. And then they try to tell me my story.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's more like you're just accepting all parts of you at all times. Like, this is part of my past.
Because men are still attractive to me.
Yeah.
Especially black men. But, any man of color, okay? But, like, to pursue, nah. It's not there. It's not in me no more. Yeah. Like, at all.
Is it like once you felt that deep emotional connection with a woman, it was hard to go back?
Yeah, it's hard. It's not hard. I just don't want to. Why? Why?
Yeah.
No offense.
Makes sense.
No offense at all.
Makes sense. So something we usually wrap up the podcast with is a harsh truth. So that's a lesson that you've learned from either this conversation today or overall throughout your journey that you'd like to share with the audience. Give them a little something they could take with them. Here's your time. Look them in the eye.
Okay. Well, throughout my life, I learned a lot of things. But what's most important to me is being true to myself. And I just want, or I would hope, everybody does the same. And if it's not for you, speak up, you know? And keep going. Don't give up on yourself. Please don't give up on yourself. If you need help, ask for that help, yo. And dang, you made me cry.
That's some real shit. You know, it's that Pisces connection. But
and cry.
Crying is good.
Cry.
Release.
Cry. Yes. And elevate yourself. Don't limit yourself. Please do not limit yourself. Take chances on you. Don't let anybody's perceptions define who you are.
Period. Okay, so I'd also like to give you an opportunity to plug any projects, any social media.
Oh, bet.
Time go off.
So as she mentioned, Bubbling Over will be coming out soon. I also helped direct and also one of the stars in Cop Shot the Kid, written by Keith Tillman, and his production company, which is Black Cat Films. And I have certain stuff coming up because I still do audition and stuff like that.
Just see her in a screen near you.
Yeah, for real. Oh, and
social media.
And I currently work at. Oh, should I put that too?
Whatever you want.
I currently work at Sun and Waves on Madison and 86th Street. Come check me out. I'm your favorite barista. You just don't know it yet. I'm telling you. Trust me. For real.
Yeah, any socials you wanna?
Oh, my social. Damn, I got a couple.
Social security.
Nah.
Any place people can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Bri BRI_natural NATRUAL. Yes, that's my main page. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate having you. This was a great conversation. I wish we could go on for longer.
I know, yeah. I could talk.
But yeah, you guys already know. Follow the podcast at Casa Confessions Podcast. And please leave a comment, rating wherever you consume the podcast. And yeah, we have to go, but we're going to do our song of the pod. So if you guys are listening on Spotify, Apple, stay tuned. But YouTube and Facebook, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.